What if your cat has been trying to tell you something and you've been missing it this whole time? Most owners think they're doing everything right, feeding, petting, playing, but still end up with a distant, stressed cat. The truth is, your cat isn't complicated. You just don't speak their language yet. And once you do, everything changes. 1. Sit down at their eye level. Most people don't realize this, but from your cat's perspective, you're enormous. And in the animal world, size changes everything. Anything taller, louder, and constantly moving above them can easily be interpreted as a potential threat, even if that's not your intention. So every time you walk toward your cat, while standing, leaning over them, or reaching down from above, their instinct isn't always comfort, it's caution. This is especially true for cats that seem distant, anxious, or unaffectionate. It's not that they don't like you, it's that on a basic level, they don't feel completely safe yet. And most owners never realize that something as simple as height and body position is creating that invisible barrier. But the moment you lower yourself when you sit down on the floor, you completely change the dynamic. You're no longer a towering figure in their space. You become smaller, calmer, more predictable. In your cat's eyes, you shift from something to watch into something they can approach. 2. Scratch the places they secretly desire. Most people think petting a cat is simple. You reach out, rub the top of their head, maybe scratch behind the ears, and that's it. But here's the truth. What feels nice to you isn't always what your cat actually wants. And in many cases, they're just tolerating it, not truly enjoying it. Cats have very specific areas on their bodies that trigger a much deeper response when touched the right way. These are the spots they can't easily groom themselves: the base of the tail, the cheeks just behind the whiskers, and the area under the chin where the jaw meets the neck. These zones are incredibly sensitive, and when you find them, the reaction is immediate. You'll see it happen. Their eyes slowly soften. Their body relaxes. They start leaning into your hand, sometimes pushing harder, almost asking for more. Some cats will even drool slightly or close their eyes completely. That's not just comfort. That's a level of trust most owners never fully reach. The reason this matters is simple. When you touch your cat in a way that truly feels good to them, you're not just giving affection, you're building connection. You're showing them that you understand their body, their preferences, their boundaries. 3. Speak in short, gentle sentences. It might sound strange at first, but the way you speak to your cat matters far more than the actual words you use. Cats don't understand language the way humans do, but they are incredibly sensitive to tone rhythm and emotional energy. Every sound you make carries meaning to them, even if you don't realize it. When you talk in long sentences, raise your voice, or speak too quickly, it creates a kind of noise that feels unpredictable to your cat. In their world, unpredictable often means unsafe. So even if you're being friendly, your cat may instinctively pull back, ignore you, or simply disconnect. Over time, this can make it seem like your cat just doesn't listen when in reality, they're overwhelmed. Now compare that to short, calm, gentle phrases, soft tones, slower rhythm. That kind of communication feels completely different. It mirrors how cats naturally interact with each other, brief, intentional, and controlled. When you speak like this, your presence becomes easier to read, easier to trust. 4. Take the time to invite others to eat. You already feed your cat every day. You fill the bowl they eat and life goes on. But to your cat, that routine doesn't create the kind of connection you might think it does. It tells them you provide food, but it doesn't necessarily tell them that you are part of their survival in a deeper, instinctive way. Now here's where things shift. The moment you offer food directly from your hand, something very different happens in your cat's brain. This isn't just feeding anymore, it's trust. For a cat to take food from your hand, they have to lower their guard, come close, and accept something from you in a vulnerable moment. And that small act carries a powerful message. Not just this human feeds me, but this human is safe enough to rely on. Over time, that repeated experience builds a stronger emotional bond than bowl feeding alone ever could. You don't need to do it every day. Even once a week is enough. A few pieces of kibble, a small treat placed gently on your palm, offered without pressure. Let them come to you. Let them choose that moment. 5. Let them hunt, not just chase. Most people think they're playing with their cat the right way. You grab a toy, move it around, let your cat swipe at it for a bit, and then suddenly they lose interest and walk away. It feels like boredom, but it's not. It's something deeper. Cats don't just play, they follow a built-in hunting sequence. Stalk, chase, catch, and finally, finish the prey. And here's the problem. Most play sessions stop before that final step ever happens. Your cat chases, maybe taps the toy, but never truly gets to catch and control it. When that cycle is incomplete, your cat doesn't feel satisfied. Their body is still full of that hunting energy with nowhere to release it. And over time, that can turn into restlessness, frustration, or even unexpected aggression around the house. So the next time you play Slow Things Down, let them catch the toy. Let them grab it, bite it, kick it with their back legs. Give them that moment of control, that moment where the hunt is complete. Then gently end the session. 6. Respect their need for control. This is something most people completely overlook. Cats need to feel in control. Not dominant, not aggressive, just in control of their own space, their own body, and their own decisions. Think about how often humans interrupt that, picking them up suddenly, moving them when they're resting, forcing cuddles when they're not in the mood. To us, it feels harmless. To a cat, it feels like losing control, and that creates stress over time. Cats are not animals that respond well to force. The more you try to control them, the more they pull away. But the moment you start giving them choices, everything changes. Let them come to you. Let them decide when interaction begins and ends. Let them walk away without stopping them. It may seem like you're giving up control, but you're actually building trust. Because now your cat knows they are safe with you, not because you're always there, but because you respect their boundaries. And when a cat feels in control, something incredible happens. They come back more often. They stay longer. They become more affectionate, not because they have to, but because they want to. 7. Give them a high place where they can feel safe. If you've ever noticed your cat climbing shelves, jumping on cabinets, or sitting on top of furniture, that's not random behavior. That's instinct. In the wild, height means safety. It means visibility control and distance from danger. When your cat doesn't have access to high places, they lose one of their most important ways to feel secure. Everything happens at ground level, where they feel more exposed, more vulnerable, and over time, that can increase stress without you even realizing it. But the moment you give them a high place, a cat tree, a shelf, even a cleared spot on a wardrobe, you're giving them something much bigger than just a place to sit. You're giving them control over their environment. From up there, they can observe everything. They can choose when to engage and when to stay hidden. And that sense of control makes them calmer, more confident, and more comfortable in your home. Because for a cat, sometimes the difference between feeling stressed and feeling safe is just a little bit of height. So at the end of the day, your cat was never distant. They were just waiting for you to understand them. When you start seeing the world from their perspective, everything changes. Their behavior, their trust, and the bond you share. And once that connection is built, it's something most people never experience. But your cat has been ready for it all along.